Welcome guys. The AUG has been a well spawn for a couple of weeks now, and surely we've seen it become quite a big part of the meta, meaning that a lot of people are using it. But is it really that much better than the M4, or is it better at all? Let's find out. So in order to find out which one is actually better, we have to break it up into two parts. Number one is the lethality, which means how quick can the weapon kill? Damage, time to kill, all that kind of stuff. And then we also have to look at the handling, which is the recoil, single fire performance, and all that kind of stuff. And then of course we have the stuff in the back, such as reload speed, for instance. But let's jump right into this comparison, which is quite easy since both are 5.56 assault rifles. The damage of the M4 is 1 less than the AUG, and also the AUG has a faster rate of fire. Obviously, this makes it kill faster, but how much faster is actually quite a surprise. The AUG will kill about 20-ish milliseconds faster than the M4 versus a level 1 geared player. And against the level 2 geared player, that's about the same. And the same goes against level 3, except on that upper chest part where the AUG does have an advantage. It's also important to understand when we look at these images that this is against a full health player. So you will have other situations where the AUG will kill 80 milliseconds faster. And that is really the max time to kill difference, 80 milliseconds. That does bring the AUG ahead, so the AUG does kill faster. But is this enough to make it worth picking up? Another important aspect of lethality in PUBG is bullet velocity, because in a situation where both players fires a lethal bullet, the bullet that hits first will get the kill, and the other bullet will get its damage cancelled. That's because PUBG does not allow trading with projectiles. And the AUG has been known for ages for its crazy fast bullet velocity. But as the AUG entered the world spawning weapon pool, the weapon got its bullet velocity reduced. So now it's basically the same as the M4, however very slightly faster. The M4 is at 880 meters per second initial bullet velocity, and the AUG is just 10 more at 890. This will make situations where this will matter extremely rare. When it comes to handling, I'm going to start off doing my regular spray test on a wall. And I'm not going to bore you guys with how this works because I'm pretty sure you already know. So let's just jump straight to the results. And in this test, we can see that the overall vertical recoil is basically the same for both weapons, but what this test doesn't actually show is that the first bullet recoil of the AUG is a little bit higher. That means it's a little bit more difficult to control the AUG at the initial spray. What we can also see here is that the AUG does actually not just always perform as a laser vertical spray. It can also have quite a bit of horizontal recoil. And spraying the AUG often feels very shaky. It does seem to me that the gun has a load of screen shake, which I haven't really been able to properly show in a side-by-side comparison. So I'm gonna make that kind of just an expert opinion. But what I can show is a new and very interesting test that tells us a bit about the tapping performance, meaning when you fire in single fire, and also gives us the data we need on the first bullet recoil, which is higher on the AUG. The way I do this test is by shooting at a fixed point. Then I map out the curve at which the reticle moves the entire path, where it starts and where it ends. And here we can get a great idea of how the gun performs when you fire it in single fire. And the result is very interesting because firing 10 shots like this reveals that the AUG does indeed have much higher vertical recoil on that single fire. It also reveals that the AUG tends to have less horizontal recoil on that first bullet. But I'd say that this right here makes the M4 a better single fire weapon, and it's also why the AUG kicks more when you start a spray. In an ADS speed comparison, meaning how quick you can aim down sight, the M4 does win because it can take a tactical stock. However, the difference is only about 3 milliseconds, so basically it doesn't matter. But what does matter is the reload speed comparison, because the AUG can reload 300 milliseconds faster than the M4. This outrageously slow reload speed of the M4 is its biggest problem when comparing it to the AUG, in my opinion. Keep in mind that the AUG can kill an entire player while the M4 is still reloading. Concluding on all of this, you have an AUG that can kill faster than an M4, but only just slightly faster. And then you have an M4 that does have better handling and doesn't have that weird, annoying screen shake that goes on with the AUG. But the M4 does reload extremely slow, which is going to be a big issue for it in close quarters. Adding all of this up, the AUG is going to be the better weapon choice when you are fighting in close combat or short mid-range. Overall, I would personally pick the M4 still, because, well, it does have really good performance. Spraying down a car that passes by, I'd rather have an M4. In the end, though, I have to give the victory to the AUG, but only just slightly. You can very well still use your M416 if that's what you prefer, and there's a good chance that if that's the gun you prefer using, you will very likely also perform better with it. I hope this comparison was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time.